Hi and welcome to Lensbusters. I'm going to show you a little intro to the 500 TL made by Mamiya. It's a camera that was first introduced in 1966. It uses M42 screw mount, and it has, this camera here has a 50mm lens. And so the limitations of this camera include the shortest shutter speed is 1/500th of a second, which is not very impressive. It doesn't have a hot or cold shoe. So back in the day, you'd either plug this into a studio strobe, or you'd have a handle mount flash. And it's old enough that it actually has both the PC connector for quote unquote modern electronic flashes and the connector for the old school flash bulbs. It has a built-in meter, which at the time was a big deal, a TTL meter. Again, I've just pretty much stopped using these. I don't really care. They're usually not in particularly good shape or accurate now, cameras of this vintage. So I didn't even bother with it. And flash sync is at a 60th of a second. The camera has settings on it from 25 to 1600 for film speed. And it's a nice, sturdy, all-metal camera. Not like those modern cameras with plastic and all that. For those who aren't really familiar with Mamiya, they're both... In my day, they were mostly known for their medium format cameras. My first camera was a Mamiya C220. Now I'm going to show you how to load the camera. First, make sure there's no film in it by turning the the rewind spool like this. And if you feel no resistance, go and there's clearly no resistance here. You will see on the left side, there's a notch that you pull up on kind of near the rewind knob there, and just click it open. And there you go, camera's open. And now take your film and put it in the left side there. Just push up the rewind knob so you can fit the film magazine in. Drop it down there, push down the film rewind knob, and pull the tongue out far enough so you can reach the other side. And you stick the tongue in the slit.
Sorry, children.
The take-up end of the camera. And you want to make sure that the sprocket holes align is one thing you want to do. And that the film... Okay, so there's the alignment of the sprocket holes. And you want to make sure that the film is well loaded by rolling around itself. And then you're pretty safe there. And then pull a little bit counterclockwise on the rewind knob, and then just go and click the exposure button and move the film forward until you hit to the start mark. And then go ahead and photograph away.
M42 screw mount.
The Mamiya 500 TL uses M42 screw mount lenses. They were super common back in those days, and they were on Pentax screw mount cameras, Practicas, and a bunch of other cameras you've probably never heard of. So in order to remove the lens, just go and turn it counterclockwise. Just grab the lens with your right hand if you're right-handed, and turn it counterclockwise. The lens comes off. To put the lens back on, or put another lens on if you've got multiple lenses, basically you just seat it on the lens on top of the mount of the camera. I usually turn it counterclockwise a little bit until it sort of flattens out, so the screw mount aligns, and then turn the lens clockwise. Now, in order to show you how to remove the film from the camera, we're going to just take all the photos until basically there's tension on the take-up knob. And so I'm just going to click away here. And there we go, there's some tension there. And then you go to the bottom of the camera, press in this little button, and then turn the camera right around, and you are going to grab the rewind knob and just pull out the lever and then rotate clockwise until you hear the film pop, or you can just keep... If you're not really super confident, I'm just used to doing these, plus it's a dummy roll of film. But if you're not super confident, what you're going to want to do is just rewind the film until it far more than you need to, and just make sure that it goes back in the canister. In this case, I left the tongue out, which is handy. If you're going to develop the film, you can just cut it off without going into the dark room, and then get the the film set and ready to go and develop it by putting cutting off the tongue and straightening it out and then starting it on a reel.
Sorry, but we have to put one of those clickbait screens up for just a sec. We'll resume with the video momentarily.